is of compromise, you are someone who is not serious with God, it's easy for you to take responsibility and say, I caused the problem. But what happens when, as they say, bad things happen to good people? Are we together now? There was a woman in the Bible called the widow of Nain. The Bible does not exactly tell us she did anything wrong, but the Bible tells us that this woman was just losing the men in her life. The husband had died. Now the only child, who perhaps represented her consolation for the future, had died. And they were on the way to bury the child. If you are not trained to understand these seasons and have the intelligence on how to navigate them, you can be so discouraged. So discouraged. There are many pastors right now, and I've had the honor of meeting some, talking with some, and they tell me, Apostle, I love God with all my heart. I'm doing the ministry the best way I know. I've gone for every pastor's conference. I've done everything. I still cannot understand why growth does not happen. How about missionaries that love the Lord? It was on their way serving God that they died. How about those kidnapped by terrorists? What did they do? Some of them were singing praise and worship before the cars were hijacked. And it was on account of their faith, and they seem to have butchered them one by one. Are we together now? Now, when you look at some of these complexities, you wonder, so where is this love of God we talk about? And let me tell you this. If your life is innocent of all these things, thank God. But prepare it as an arsenal, because provided you have claimed long life, one of these things is on this way coming around your corridor. I assure you. Hallelujah. Praise the name of the Lord. Someone sent me a text and said from the time he got married, things were going down. I told him, I said, my brother, before you know what is wrong, give thanks. Just give thanks. And it is in the process of thanksgiving, this grumbling will lead you into people and things that will end up destroying your life, because you will go to look for wrong solutions and you will kill yourself. Sometimes life is just doing its thing. So they laid him off from his job, I think something of that sort. And the guy was angry, and in his mind, he believed that it was at the time he got married. It just coincided with marriage. It's not necessarily marriage that caused it. It's like someone who came out, and as soon as he came out, rain started. And then he said God was angry with him. No. As the rain was starting, it happened that was the same time you were going out. Sometimes, some things are not even an issue of spirituality. It's just intelligence. Once you take away sentiment, and you can reason your way into peace. Are we together? So believers must be trained. And in training you, I'm teaching you that it is not unusual. Honestly speaking, if you don't get this, you will give yourself heart attack. Because sometimes, now, when you hear we men of God teach on victory, sometimes we teach on victory with such confidence and bias, and it is so. It's supposed to be taught that way. The theology of victory is such that in many regards, it may not even factor the possibility for some of these things. The reason is because we are painting a picture that should be as clear as possible for you. But pragmatically speaking, on your way to manifesting and birthing that victory, it is not unusual that these kinds of things will happen. If someone learning so far, because I sense in my heart that I'm describing people right now who may be in this situation. You love God with all your heart. Every other thing is working fine in your life, but for reasons you cannot explain, and that you will be understanding shortly. Many of us have gone through all kinds of things. From January till now, perhaps there are people here who have had to bury their loved ones. From January till now, perhaps there are people who they started the year with momentum, with grace, and with all the financial decisions you took. Perhaps your finances have not gone the way you expected it to be. Hallelujah. Praise the name of the Lord. I remember one of our precious people, it rained one time, and he keeps animals, goats and sheep and all of that. And it rained, and the fence broke down, and the sheep and goats ran away. And as he was narrating the story, I said, look at these foolish goats. They ran from the place of safety to the place where they will go and eat them. You see that it's not good to be called a goat. How do you leave the place of safety? You are fed every day. You are not working. Even though you will be sold one day, but at least to the place where somebody would see you and steal you and kill you immediately. Which one is better? To at least last longer. Hallelujah. Challenges happen. Challenges happen. Ask a widow and she would tell you that it's been years after the departure of her husband, but there are still questions in her heart. Ask a widower, he will tell you. Ask an orphan. Ask a man of God who loves God, but his ministry has had to close down, maybe because of some government policy in the nation. Ask a hardworking father and mother who were laid down. It was not for laziness, and as it stands, they've not been able to send their children to school. Sometimes life happens. It's a reality that you have to factor in. Sometimes life happens. Now, for the believer, hear me, challenges are not unusual. It's when they overwhelm you to a point of defeat. That's when it becomes unusual. Is someone learning now? Challenges are not unusual to the believer. Provided you are walking and living in this life, there are times that the challenges may not be by a cause of your own. We coexist in our world, and someone's carelessness, someone's foolishness can have an implication on you. I remember one time a woman who was crying and she was complaining. It was a very sad story. Something she saw about her child that was not the best. She sent the child abroad, and one day, according to her also, she said she just saw a display on the internet. You know, the child had joined some of these groups and was doing a lot of things that should not be on the internet. She was so broken. You could, and imagine as a mother looking at her child in that condition. And she felt she raised the child in the way of the Lord. And I could sense the pain as she was saying this, that she gave everything. The children had Bible studies, they prayed, they fasted. I mean, well, how could God allow this kind of thing to happen to the child? Sometimes life happens. Challenges are not unusual. Again, I repeat, whether it comes in form of a marital crisis, whether it comes as a career challenge, in spite of all productive efforts, whether it comes as sicknesses and infirmities, whether it comes as demonic oppression, curses, yokes, patterns, whatever it is, whether it comes as negative, unfavorable financial situations, whether it comes as ministry challenges. You know, sometimes ministers can be challenged. Sometimes even as a man of God, you can need a miracle yourself. Hallelujah. Now, I'm going to be giving you for tonight 6 keys that will help you like a compass to navigate your way out